You know, some stories just catch fire online, don't they? This one's been everywhere. A denim ad? Yeah, believe it or not, an ad for jeans. We're talking about American Eagle's campaign with the Hollywood star Sydney Sweeney.
Hmm.
But what seemed like a straightforward promotion, it just exploded. It became this huge national conversation about, well, everything from marketing ethics to the culture wars.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to do a deep dive into this whole thing. We'll unpack the campaign, the reactions, and, what it signifies for brands, celebs, and for you, the consumer, trying to make sense of it all.
It's really striking, actually, how one single advertising choice can just mirror and, well, amplify so many tensions we're seeing in society right now.
Definitely.
This isn't just about selling jeans, is it? It's a fascinating case study in how brand messages, the persona of a celebrity, and public perception can all get tangled up in really unexpected and often controversial ways.
Okay, so let's unpack this properly. First, Sydney Sweeney herself. She's a major American actress, right? Known for huge shows like Euphoria, The White Lotus, big presence.
They're prominent, yeah.
And you might remember other things too, previous brand deals like that bathwater bliss soap maybe, and just general buzz around her image, sometimes including discussions about her on-screen roles.
Right, those are all part of the picture. That's the kind of celebrity persona American Eagle was likely trying to tap into.
And then there's American Eagle, founded way back, 1977. I mean, they're a staple, especially for high school, university students. Jeans are their thing.
Absolutely. And they also own Aerie, don't forget.
Oh yeah, Aerie's huge. Known for the hashtag #AerieReal campaign, all about body positivity, unretouched model. It's got a really specific positive image.
Which makes this Sweeney campaign even more interesting in contrast.
Exactly. And this campaign was apparently their most expensive ever, like a real big bet to boost their cultural relevance, drive sales with Gen Z, that younger audience.
That key demographic.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept itself, the core idea, is, well, it's built around this very deliberate pun.
The great jeans thing.
Exactly. Sydney Sweeney has great genes,
Yeah.
playing on J-E-N-S and G-E-A-S.
Right.
The visuals often showed her in blue jeans, sometimes, a close-up on her blue eyes.
Yeah.
There was one ad where she's putting up a poster, and jeans is crossed out, replaced with jeans.
I saw that one.
And there was another version, quite controversial, with her voiceover saying something like, "Genes are passed down, determined traits like hair color, personality, even eye color. My genes are blue." Then the tagline. But there's another layer here, and it's really important. The Sydney jean collection itself, it had this butterfly motif,
Okay.
which was meant to represent domestic violence awareness.
Right.
It's a cause Sweeney is quite vocal about. And they said 100% of proceeds would go to Crisis Text Line, the mental health nonprofit.
Ah, okay, so a charitable angle mixed in.
A charitable angle mixed in, and that detail, it becomes absolutely crucial when we look at the controversy that just erupted.
Right. And this is where it really took off. The backlash, it wasn't just one thing, was it? It came from multiple directions fast. So first, the sexualization aspect. Lots of critics jumped on the tone, calling it very focused on the straight male gaze.
Yeah, terms like leering, unapologetic camera work were used.
Even though Sweeney herself has that line, hey, eyes up here, it didn't really land well with critics. Some saw it as a step backward, even comparing it to that old infamous Calvin Klein ad with Brooke Shields back in the 80s.
Wow, that's a strong comparison. And that connects directly to the second point, which was maybe the most explosive one.
The eugenics accusation.
Exactly. Accusations of promoting eugenics, even white supremacy. The argument was that the great genes pun, especially with Sweeney being blonde, blue-eyed, thin, it implicitly promoted this idea of genetic superiority.
That's a heavy charge.
It is. And people online, particularly on TikTok, were very direct, calling it fascist propaganda, comparing it to 1930s Germany, Nazi ideology. Really strong language.
It's kind of staggering how quickly it went there. And then the third main criticism was just the disconnect,
Between the tone and the cause.
Yeah. People found it really problematic that this, sexualized campaign was tied to domestic violence awareness. It just felt like a jarring mismatch between the ad's vibe and its stated charity goal.
It does make you ask, how did that happen? Was it just a massive oversight or something else?
Well, that leads to the next question, doesn't it? Was this whole controversy sort of manufactured? Because opinions seemed split.
That's a really interesting point. You saw some people like on Reddit threads suggesting it was almost a deliberate shadow campaign, like manufactured outrage, maybe designed to get clicks, get free press.
Maybe even appeal to certain political groups by sticking it to the wokes, as some put it.
That was definitely part of the speculation. But then again, you absolutely saw very real, very widespread negative reactions too. On TikTok, on X. It wasn't just speculation. The backlash felt genuine to many.
And it didn't stay just online, did it? It jumped into actual politics. You had figures like Senator Ted Cruz, J.D. Vance publicly defending Sweeney.
Defending her and criticizing what they termed the crazy left or cancel culture. It became a political football pretty quickly.
Wow.
But despite all that noise, all the uproar, the initial financial reaction, kind of surprising.
What happened?
American Eagle's stock price actually went up by 10% right after the campaign announcement.
Get out. Really?
Yeah. Now, some analysts did point out that, meme stock traders might have jumped on the volatility. It wasn't necessarily a sign of pure consumer love for the ad itself, but it was notable.
Okay, so a massive storm brewing online and in politics, stock bumps. How did American Eagle actually respond to all this? Did they apologize?
That's the crucial thing. No official apology ever came from American Eagle. You might have seen things floating around online that look like apologies.
Oh, I think I saw one of those.
Yeah, those were fake. Satirical posts, not the real company.
So what did they do?
Well, their actual response was much more subtle. Quiet moves, mostly.
Right, quick.
Like, they quietly took down some of the video versions that had drawn the most fire from their social media. Just gone. And then they posted this image featuring a racially ambiguous model. Caption was, "Denim on denim, AE has great jeans." But it used lyrics from a Beyoncé song that also happens to mention Levi's, their competitor.
Oh, that feels a bit clumsy.
Critics definitely saw it that way, like a rushed, maybe inauthentic attempt at damage control. Someone called it putting a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. It just didn't seem to address the core criticisms.
And then eventually they did put out something official.
Yes. On August 1st, 2025, they released a statement on Instagram. It basically doubled down, saying the campaign is and always was about the jeans, her story. And they added, "We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wants their AE jeans with confidence. Their way. Great jeans look good on everyone." Sources close to the company also apparently briefed that the, quote, absurd response from some corners of the internet is absolutely not reflective of how American Eagle's customers feel.
So basically, denying the criticism had real weight with their base.
Pretty much. Which, when you look at the bigger picture, offers some really key lessons for marketers or really anyone paying attention to brands today.
Okay, let's break those down.
Well, first, it really highlights the need for truly inclusive marketing, doesn't it? You have to think carefully about who your target audience is, sure, but you also need to be ready for how people outside that target might react. Some argue AE just failed on that front here.
They didn't consider the wider ripples.
Exactly. And second, it's this classic lesson, impact versus intent. What matters is the impact your campaign has on the audience, not just what you intended to say. Those can be two very different things.
What you mean versus what people hear.
Precisely. Third, it screams about the need for pre-testing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Actually testing these ideas with diverse groups before launch to get, culturally intelligent insights, foresee the potential backlash instead of just hoping for the best.
It seems obvious, but maybe it gets skipped.
It seems so. And finally, the response itself shows the danger of, hasty or inauthentic crisis management. If your response feels like a quick fix or ignores the problem, it can often just make things worse.
Yeah, digging a hole deeper, this whole thing also really brings that idea of outrage as a growth channel into sharp focus, doesn't it?
It really does.
Like, the controversy definitely drove massive attention, conversation, even that short-term stock bump you mentioned. But is that sustainable? Is that good growth?
That's the million-dollar question. Yeah. Because it reinforces this idea that a brand is no longer what brands tell people, but what people tell brands. The narrative control is shifting, maybe gone.
Brands don't own the story anymore.
Not entirely.
Yeah.
And that makes understanding the cultural context, the world your message is landing in, absolutely critical. You can't operate in a vacuum.
So, wrapping this up, what we've seen with this American Eagle Sydney Sweeney situation, it really feels like a snapshot of marketing today. This intense mix of celebrity power, brands trying to be bold, and a public that's incredibly vocal and ready to react.
It absolutely is a microcosm of the challenges and, frankly, the dangers out there, which leads to a pretty important question for you, our listener, to maybe think about.
Yeah.
In this world where we see controversy generating so much attention, sometimes even immediate financial boosts, what responsibility do brands, and maybe celebrities too, actually have when they shape these cultural narratives. Is all attention really good attention anymore? Or are there maybe some lines that just shouldn't be crossed even for the sake of going viral?